What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the Celtics Talk podcast, live in San Francisco, Giles.
Beautiful weather, by the way.
Beautiful.
Are you serious? Like, I thought people said it got cold here.
You go out at night.
Yeah, that's all right. It was
chilly.
fantastic today.
You rolled in pretty late last night, and you already were hooded up from the plane.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
Yeah, like I was wandering around in my flip-flops. Wasn't Miami weather, which is I quite enjoyed for a lot of days down there. But when we last talked, we were despondent at the TD.
Oh, Game 6.
Game 6. I don't want to revisit that, but Celtics got it out. I want to start here. We're gonna play some clips from our preview show, but I want to get your take. Like, how are you feeling as the Celtics prepare to tip off the NBA Finals?
Yeah, I think I'm feeling better than I did a few days ago, in the sense that you start to look at how the Warriors got here, right? They didn't have nearly the same path that the Celtics did. Like the Nuggets, it was just basically Jokic, and that was it. They had nobody else. And then you get to Memphis, and Memphis loses Ja Morant. They're just not nearly as tested. I mean, even Dallas got through Phoenix, but that was kind of a streaky team, and they just kind of ran out of gas. They kind of ran out of steam. So the fact that the Celtics, it's not great that they had to go 7 games in that last series against Miami. It's not great that you had to go 7 games against the Bucks, but they've been tested. They've gone through in sweeping Brooklyn. They've got a much better resume in this postseason than Golden State does right now. And I think you look at that and say, okay, it's not as there's not as much separation as I originally thought. I think it's going to be a much closer series.
And one of the things I can't keep shaking is this notion that, I mean, for so long they couldn't get past the Eastern Conference Finals, right? 3 out of the last 5 years, and then it looks like they might not this 4th year. But I think there's a sense of relief that washes over you. Like, oh my God, all right, we've gotten that now. Now, not that you're playing with house money. It's still, you want to go out there and you want to win, but all of a sudden you're just maybe a little bit looser. Maybe you're like, all right, let's just go play and let's show them like how good we've been all season long. And so I'm eager to see if the Celtics can maintain that going into this series. Does the offense unleash? Does the physicality of their defense grind at Golden State? Now, the one thing is, the big storyline coming into this series has been the experience. Does it matter?
I think it does matter, yeah. But I only think it matters for maybe like 1 quarter of Game 1. And then maybe, you get deeper in the series and nerves play a part, and maybe then Golden State has the experience to say, okay, we've been here before. But at the same time, this is a great opportunity for the Celtics, so there's some pressure related to that. I think there's a lot of pressure on the Warriors. I think there's a lot of pressure on the Warriors.
That's a spicy take.
No, seriously. I mean, because it's been a few years since they've been here. They realize that you don't get here every single year and that you're not always as healthy as they are. And these guys there's been a lot of legacy talk when it comes to the Warriors this week. And I think that's going to continue. And so with that kind of pressure, maybe that counterbalances just a little bit of experience they have.
Ooh. I'm interested to see. Like I do agree. I think at some point you just settle into the series, and it doesn't mean all of a sudden you're not looking over there like, oh, they've been in 122 of these games. But maybe the 4th quarter of a must-have game. I mean, I think there's just a little bit more of a, hey, those guys have been together. They've done this.
Let me ask you this, though, because also, people look at the games down the stretch and the close games, and even that Miami game, the clincher in Game 7, and the Celtics giving up an 11-0 run late. And I think a lot of people looked at it and said, oh, they can't close out games, and it's just that makes them nervous going into this series. I mean, for me, well, they were up by 13. Yeah. So you're able to give up an 11-0 run and still win the game. I feel like too many people are getting really tied up in the fact that that game was a lot closer than it probably needed to be. They still won a Game 7 on the road.
We can just say trending. Like early edition.
No, there's been plenty of people. Talk radio, all over the place.
But no, I'm the same way. For me, it comes down to, in the postseason, I don't care about style points.
No.
It's all about just winning. And now, would I feel better coming into this series for the Celtics if they hadn't coughed up that lead late and didn't let it come down to a Jimmy Butler 3-pointer? Of course. But I don't think it like carries over necessarily. I don't think they're going to be like, wow, we almost gave away that lead, so we're going to limp into this series. No, I think you're like, all right, you won. We got to be better. If nothing else, it reminded them before the series, hey, you can't get away with that against this team because they will punish you, and they're not going to miss that shot. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, someone's going to make that 3. And so I hope it added to their focus, their lapse in focus in the last round.
Can I ask you something else, too? Because you've been to 2 other NBA Finals. And I don't know, it feels kind of low-key around here. Like, you have a lot of things going up around the Chase Center, but maybe just, this city's used to the Warriors being here, and there isn't necessarily the same energy that you would have seen if, say, you were traveling to Dallas for Game 1.
I'm interested. Oracle used to be an amazing place to see a game. And the Celtics had so much success there, and it was always bizarre because the fans were super rowdy and super into it, and that arena just was perfectly constructed for entertainment. I don't know what it's going to be like here. I keep hearing people say it's, big money to get in, it's a different crowd, but it's also the NBA Finals, and I think people are going to be going nuts. I'll be very interested to see we're taping
Yeah,
the day before the Finals.
I have no doubt that it's going to be jumping out here in 24 hours. But I'm just saying it's almost
not like
you're
Boston,
still trying to feel. Well, I don't know. I don't even know what Boston would be like. The day before the NBA Finals.
All I know is that we got games at like 6 o'clock out here, and we're going to get 9 o'clock in Boston, where people are going to have a lot of time to
There's
get
some
ramped
pregame,
up.
right? You don't just have Celtics pregame live. You've got your own pregame.
Well, and if you want to tune in the postgame live, I will be fearing for my life outside in the plaza, depending on how this series plays out. All right, we're going to get into a couple segments here from the preview show tonight. Eddie, Scal, Amina, breaking down this series. Let's take a listen.
All right, we are live from the West Coast. That's right. You're looking at the Chase Center, where Game 1 of the NBA Finals will take place tomorrow night, where the superstars will be out. Steph, Clay, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, an action-packed series ahead for fans back in Boston, and really in both of these fan bases. Welcome to Live at the Finals. You got Scal, Eddie House, Amina Smith here with you, previewing the NBA Finals, this matchup between the Celtics and the Warriors. And the Celtics, they started out this season below 500, and now they're back in the NBA Finals for the first time since 2010. Scal, from a 50,000-foot view, just what are you expecting this matchup to be like?
I think the Celtic defense, it's Celtic defense versus Warrior offense. And really the story for the Celtics will be, will they not have those lulls that we saw in Miami and against Milwaukee, where we see more of a consistent team like we saw against the Brooklyn Nets. Mm-hmm. And for the Warriors, their shooting, their spacing, their ball movement, that stuff's elite. We have to be locked in defensively.
And Eddie, we're in your neck of the woods. We got the sunshine. You came in here with a different type of swagger in the Bay Area. How are you expecting this to go down?
Well, I'm with what Brian said. The most important thing is that we have to be consistent, and we have to take care of the basketball. It's been the theme over and over and over again. It's like, don't shoot yourself in the foot. If you give yourself an opportunity to make plays offensively for each other and for yourself, you give yourself a chance to win. But the thing that I'm looking at is that everybody talks about the ball movement and the body movement of the Golden State Warriors. I think that we'll be able to match that because we do have length, we have athleticism, and we have guys that could guard. Yeah,
a lot of things to pick apart with this series. All right, let's take a look at the series schedule. Games 1 and 2 right here in the Bay Area. Then games 3 and 4 are back in Boston inside of TD Garden. After that, the series goes back and forth between the Bay and Boston, with games 5 through 7 being played if necessary. Remember, our pregame coverage starts at 7 p.m. each day with Celtics Post Up. The Celtics start this series on the road here in the Bay Area, and the Warriors, they're 7-0 in Game 1s of the NBA Finals. We know this Celtics team, they've been road warriors, historically great on the road this season. However, Scal, just what are you expecting in terms of, this Celtics team coming into the Chase Center trying to play a Warriors team that is frankly great at home?
Yeah, so what I want to see is the Celtics to control pace. Mm-hmm. If you don't control the pace against the Warriors, you'll lose the game, especially in this building. I don't know if you guys have seen these guys play in this building or you've been in this building. This thing, when they get it going, when you're turning it over, when you're missing layups, when you're just missing good shots, they're off and they're running. That's when they're at their best. So for Game 1, I will be looking for the Celtics to control the pace, control the tempo, and then obviously it's the common theme throughout either this show or all the way through. It's going to be taking care of the basketball. They're going to have to do that Game 1.
Yeah, I want to control the pace too, but I want to run on them. But that doesn't necessarily mean jacking shots, because you play into the Warriors, into their strengths. If you jack shots and then get them and now you're on your heels, I want to play fast. I want to play moving the ball. I want to make the Golden State Warriors guard as well. I don't want to sit there and just play a slow, drag-out game, an ISO game. The Warriors are a good defensive team. You cannot just sit there and think that you're going to play one-on-one ISO basketball and get it done with them. You got to move bodies and take advantage of matchups that you can get. But, again, the key factor of all of that is putting the ball in the hole, but also taking care of it.
Yeah, and the Warriors, they have home court advantage in this series. And, Scal, you kind of alluded to it, kind of that environment inside of the Chase Center. Kind of take fans in there really quickly. Just what will that be like?
Yeah, so it's a different vibe. Like when Steph Curry rises up to shoot a three, it's a oh if he misses, or it's oh if he makes it, right? It's different than Boston, which when a guy shoots a shot, there's kind of a pause and then an explosion, right?
Yeah.
Like these guys just like they thrive off of that energy, and you can feel like things building up. I don't know if you guys have ever watched like soccer matches, same kind of thing as the ball gets into the box, like everything starts to build. So I just hope that the Celtics can like continue to maintain and find shooters and not overreact to things. It's going to be like the Milwaukee series and the Miami series was such a physical series. This is not going to be like that. This is going to be a mental series. You cannot lose Steph Curry for a second. You can't lose Klay Thompson. If that happens, that could turn into like 15-2 just like that. So this is all about being locked in mentally, not being involved in the crowd, figuring out, like Eddie said, you got to push the pace, but you got to take care of the basketball. If you can stay locked in, the Celtics have a chance to win a championship.
You was talking about the crowd, though. I think this is also a crowd that could get taken out of the game. This is not a crowd that is one of those that are going to be nonstop into it, understanding the game of basketball. Like you said, they're hoping that they make a shot. They're wishing that they make a shot. But at the same time, we could take them out take the crowd out the game by getting stops, by scoring the basketball and kind of silencing them, because the Warriors do feed off of this crowd.
Yeah, they definitely do. All right, let's take a look at how that Celtics defense matches up against that Warriors offense and how it has done all season long. It's presented by TouchView interactive display panels available at the Oakers Company. You take a look at the Celtics right there, second in defensive rating, second in opponents' points per game, field goal percentage, and three-point field goal percentage. And then you take a look at the Warriors, first, third, and fourth. And then you see all those highlighted categories right there for the Celtics. They led the NBA in all four categories during the regular season. That Celtics defense has been otherworldly this season, led by Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart. And we know what this Warriors offense can do. #1 in offensive rating in the postseason. However, Scal, just how are you seeing this Celtics defense go up against that Warriors offense?
I mean, it's not going to be a problem when they can stop them in transition, when they can get back, when they could, they don't miss shots at the rim, when they don't turn it over. The Celtics defense is a problem for the Warriors. I'm not worried about the Celtic defense against the Warriors in the half court. Yes, the Warriors are going to make shots. They're going to score. The problem comes down to in transition, turnovers, missed shots at the rim, or missed assignments in transition. That's where I worry. If you could take and say, where is the Celtics defense in the half court? It's going to be off the charts in this series. They'll be fine. But all the other stuff, I'm worried about. I'm just going to be honest. Like the Miami series and the Milwaukee series has me questioning, in those moments, how bad do those moments be? When the Celtics let go of the rope, is it 25-5? Is it 18-6? What are those moments? That's what I worry about. And to me, that's them slowing it down offensively, not playing the right way.
I'm with you. Half-court defense, I'm not worried. I think we have athleticism, we have length, we have the team physicality. We are a bigger team all across the board. It's when you take quick shots. You're not balanced. You don't have defensive transition balance. And then you're out there trying to match up, cross-match, and you're running to the same guy, and there's a kick ball over to the corner, and the guy's knocking down a three with nobody running to him. Those are the things that I'm worried about. And it all comes with being intelligent, knowing when to take shots, having offensive balance, #1, when you do take shots, and then taking shots within your offense and not just jacking shots up, not going ISO game, and don't have anybody try to play hero ball. This is not the time to play hero ball. I think this is a time to where everybody should be leaning on each other to try to get this done.
And I still have the question. How the hell did Jimmy Butler get open you're up by 2 with 15 seconds to go at the end of a game? Like, I don't understand that.
I mean, I feel like that's been a story all season long. We see things in games in the series, even in the postseason. We're just like, how does that happen? Yeah. And then you go back to the regular season, you're like, oh, okay, these are bad habits that they've had all throughout the season and just showing up in the postseason at the wrong time.
They got a habit of trying to trick things off. That's really what it is. It comes down to
a little bit.
They do. They got a habit of that, and that's what happens.
But I don't know if you can do that again.
No, you can't do that.
Steph Curry's making that shot.
No, Steph Curry, Clay's going to make that shot. Jordan Poole's going to make that shot. Wiggins more than likely will make that shot because he's rocking and rolling. You can't give them guys that type of shot. That's why you got to be locked in.
Yeah, just to clarify it so you guys can put it in a box to fully understand what I'm worried about. I'm worried about how the hell did Jimmy Butler get open?
You're still wondering
I don't understand how that happened. I don't understand.
All right, we heard Eddie and Scal both saying Celtics in 6. How you feeling about this series?
So I also heard you on the preview show go Celtics in 7. I'm right there with you because I was looking at some of the odds for them too. I think that's somewhere like around plus 600 for Celtics in 7. The second shortest odds for an outcome in this series is Celtics in 6. So that's more of a popular pick, if you will. And Warriors in 7 is the most popular
reason, right?
pick.
Like you would think in your mind, if you were going to play out this series, you'd say the Celtics are more likely to close at home than on the road. But what it ignores is the fact that this season has made no sense.
No, exactly.
And so my thing is, I feel like they're going to lose a crushing Game 6, send this thing back here 3-3, and then they're going to do what they've done in the last 2 rounds. And when they've needed to win on the road, they will do it.
I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you on that. And
wait,
7 games. By the way, we heard some predictions last night, right? From some of our crew, like Celtics sweep, Celtics in 5. Maybe the Golden State Steals one.
Some of those people are
they're in the room.
Behind the scenes, bring them in.
But let me tell you, it's weird because I think a lot of people, and I think I came into this thinking like Warriors 55, Celtics 45 as far as percentage. But I'm starting to feel okay. Yeah, the Celtics can win this series.
And look, we'll overreact to Game 1 and we'll feel totally different.
Absolutely.
But for now, we'll see how it plays out. But I do think you should feel pretty good about the Boston Celtics' chances in this series if they keep that foot on the gas.
And they don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, now I'm feeling worse. No, but it's just those were some of the bugaboos the last couple rounds. But hey, it's the NBA Finals. I can't wait to see get started. All right, I need everybody to go to like, subscribe, check us out on the YouTube page. We'll be here with you throughout these finals here in San Francisco. We'll catch you next time on the Celtics Talk podcast.